break. When we come back, then we continue.
This is not your average laundry day. This is Spin City Laundromat, first of its kind in Kumasi and a total game changer. We serve homes, hotels, restaurants, and anyone who demands clean, fast, and flawless laundry. At Spin City, your clothes go through brand new machines, delivering a deep clean, a soft finish, and a perfect fold, all tucked into our signature Spin City bags. And guess what? We provide the detergent and softeners. Got duvets, curtains, blankets? Bring them on. Our heavy-duty machines are built for the big stuff. And when we say personal service, we mean it. No mixing of clothes ever. It's one customer, one machine always. We're open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. Find us at Ashaliboche Lakeside, Dansuman, UPSA, Teshita Bibiano, Kaneshi, and right here at the Kumasi City Mall, Asokwa. Call 055-445-5314 and let's handle that laundry. Spin City Laundromat. Wash, dry, and fold in less than 2 hours.
So you're welcome back to the show. This is still the Orange Sunrise here on Orange 107.9. So we want to speak on some issues this morning. One is electricity issues. Number two is the arrest of some people. Looks as if the arrest is still continuing. Abronya, we are told, was remanded. The Aguna East executive of the MPP, we are told, was allegedly arrested because he posted a graphic on his Facebook wall that Dumzo is back. And so it looks as if some people are asking, what kind of arrest are we seeing? Is done in?
And it's getting out of hand. It's like we talk about it and nothing happens. If you want to criminalize a
Speech.
just tell us that this is what we've got into as a country now. But you can't be making some of these arrests. And I read a story about Aronia, so he said he has been arrested for alleged misinformation.
You know, it's under the new electronic something bill.
It's not right.
I think that's the law that is giving the security officers the reason to arrest some of or to make some of these arrests. But just like you said, I don't know. It is unnecessary. Yeah. It is not the kind of arrest you want to be seen every now and then.
Especially if it is against people in the opposition. It's not a good look. Yeah.
It's like I say, we have serious things to do.
I understand the intention behind the digital something.
Yeah, that's
act.
the electronic. Is it electronic something act?
I understand the intention.
I appreciate that, but it's like it's been misused.
Exactly, and they are most of the times when they are laws to regulate speech, this is what ends up. Yeah,
it's
because what is misinformation in the first place, and who is the judge of that? Whether the person was doing it with the intention of defaming the person, or if that is just the person's opinion.
And there's someone too who has been arrested because he has said something about Stoneboy.
What did he say?
I will have to check, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, any time there are regulations regarding speech expression, we get some of these excesses.
But that's the last thing you want to do in a democracy.
Exactly.
Because then all of us are not safe. We are not too sure who has issues with you, and because of that, based on your statement.
I think at this point, what is saving the face of the security, national security, and the government officials is they've not done it to any journalist yet. But if it happens that they've come to arrest some journalists for misinformation, then we know that we are heading towards a ditch.
So yeah, it's an issue that we'll speak.
Every day we go and sleep there, they've arrested someone.
Yeah, I think I do not believe that the president is interested in all these things. I'll be I'll be surprised. I think that sometimes, what may be happening is that some of the security officers, in their bid to show authority that they are on their job, they are doing the thing, they will overdo things and just cause problem for the government.
There are deeper security issues in Ghana, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Than arresting people for
much more serious issues.
Yeah. So if you want to show that you are working, I think you should be looking at some other things. I mean, yesterday I heard that they've arrested someone in Accra, some people in Accra for human trafficking and all of those things. And so I'm sure, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs advised us that they've had people running human trafficking businesses in Ghana. So everyone, especially young people, should be very vigilant in checking, especially when they come to tell you that they have travel opportunity and work abroad, study abroad, those things. Be very vigilant in your dealings, because some of those people are operating in human trafficking businesses. Like, all of these things are happening, and I don't know why we are overly concerned with what someone is saying to... I don't know. I don't think it doesn't sit well with me. That he has posted this and he has
it's not standing and sitting well with me at all.
It's not.
It's not something that I think that we need to encourage. I may be wrong, but I think President Mahama is a very, very tolerant president. So I am surprised that it is under him.
The people at the top.
It is under him that we are getting all of these. It's not anybody that thinks that he's doing something. I mean, this is unnecessary. I mean,
And it was a few months ago that we read that was it the Ghana Education Service? They said if any teacher demonstrates, actions will be taken. It's not a good look. I mean, under the former administration, when they did the Fix the Country demonstration, people got arrested. We spoke against it.
Yeah.
So it's not right. I think everyone has it's in the constitution, right, Alpha? We all have the right to an opinion. We have the right to freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And all of those things. So I don't know why some of these things are coming up. If you think someone has said something that defames you, I think there are ways to go around it. You can file a defamation suit and all of those things. I don't know why national security has to come and pull someone in. Why?
So yeah, we will talk about it. We will speak to a lawyer so that we will seek his thoughts on these matters. So as and when we get through to him, we'll bring you that conversation. But let's do the ECG conversation first, and then we will continue. So stay with us. This is the Orange Sunrise on Orange 107.9. We are transmitting live here at the Kumasi City Mall. You can be part of the show this morning if you do send us your WhatsApp message on 0593932 993 0593932 993. Now, yesterday or on Tuesday, when we looked at the Dumso situation, a good number of people said they have seen improvement. There are still some who say they have not seen improvement. So let's briefly have a conversation on that.
Okay, let's go. Let's get it. Yeah. Challenge a come on for a light. And then my force will be your light. Your light. Easy for you, who your mom when I say I'm with say you're free and you're fine. And you're fine. And you're fine. And when I come to 7-4 off. And I shall my bay top. Let's jump on your this switch in the chin and one the cocoa say I won't die rough. So come on for a light. And then my bay your light. Your light. Your light. Easy for you, who your mom when I say I'm with say you're free and you're fine. And you're fine. And you're fine. And when I come to 7-4 off. I shall my bay top. Let's jump when I want this switch in the chin and one the cocoa say I won't die rough. boy. My own one. Now, I like for. Now, you ever said they're coming? Okay, because they do me in India. I'm not charging my phone. Okay. Nyankopon sani amba for my camera mama. Ye beto me manye de woni pe bia bedwane. O man ya wuti ma wo life kwa wuntu me plan would assume. O sanso ni sika wo di twediane. Enka na ewu kosuku aye se watra. Ende uni generator na chese wa mbobra ahokyere. Adade nkuto ma ye di distra. O man na simoja ye se oba wa ye bra. Me nkoti ameti opposition ama me cash ka me wa fase ne woda so fa back. Mo dem for politics and the facts na de bia. Cause for say and support ha.
So we are going to go onto the telephone line so that we can speak with the PRO for ECG regarding issues to do with electricity supply. Ben, good morning and welcome to the Orange Sunrise.
Morning, Alfa.
I believe you're doing well.
By God's grace, I'm doing well, and you?
I'm good. Based on your assessment as of this morning, what's the current state of electricity supply in the region?
Thank you very much, and a very good morning to your cherished listeners as well our customers. And I would like to first of all thank our customers for their patience during the recent Akosombo fire incident, which led to power disruptions across the region, and how they supported us and were patient with us. I would like to thank them, and I believe all our customers will attest to the fact that since that issue was completed, we've had an improved power supply in the region. However, this week, what we are doing, and that is where some customers are having outages as a result of planned maintenance works. That has to do with our Edwina substation, where we are replacing some 33 kV panels over there. So on Tuesday, there was planned outage to those customers, and today also there will be a planned outage. I mean, customers around Edwina, say, Oshima, say, Pata, say, parts of Santa, say, Ipri, Emai, Ampetia, Dako, Bebu, Manson, Quanta, Yape, Techebon, Achemade, Komwase, Techima, Oshima, say, Hilltop, then Chemo. So I mean, that enclave. So, I mean, this morning they will be experiencing an outage, and the light will be restored around 6 p.m. But we intend to finish the work by close of day tomorrow, and then hopefully by Sunday everything will normalize within that enclave as well. Aside that, that is a major outage that we will be expecting today at 9 o'clock.
Okay. Few days ago we had a conversation about the electricity supply, and we sought to find out from our listeners if they have observed improvement in the electricity supply. There are some people at Agrek in Zema area who say that they have not seen any improvement.
You said how many days ago?
2 days ago. I think we had that conversation on Tuesday.
Zuma is also part of the areas that I mentioned. They are within the incubation Zuma.
Okay.
What's the name? Lazap area. Wamase, that enclave, the upper. So if it's a 2 days ago, yes, because we mentioned that today is Thursday, so I mentioned that Tuesday within the planned outage. I'm proud to that Agriculture, which is on the Yabe line, had also experienced some outages which we've worked to correct the defects on them. But once we finish replacing the breaker, so because of that, customers within that enclave, if you know that area very well, the areas that I mentioned, Agriculture is also on the Yabe line, Chechebon, Yabe Percy, Yabe itself, that enclave, that enclave, they're all taking part from our regional substation as well. So, like I said, once we finish the work by close of day tomorrow, hopefully by Sunday, everything should normalize. If there's any challenge afterwards, then what we'll do is that we'll have to visit the Yabi line alone. But I know Agrek Zima is on the Yabi line.
So,
either to the residents over there, especially Agrek Zima, they had an overloaded transformer, which was around 100 kV, and which led to serious power disruptions during the peak period in the evening. I believe residents of the enclave will attest to the fact that we've replaced it to 200 kV. We've upgraded it to 200 kV. Whilst we're also working to bring additional 200 kV within that enclave as well.
Okay. Now, so when do you expect to finish the work in the area that you mentioned, including the Agri-Kinzima area? When should the customers in these areas expect the return of, let me say, full electricity supply?
Yeah, I think I mentioned we are likely to finish the work tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And they want to finish tomorrow, yes, but it doesn't mean tomorrow there will be the whole day outage. The work, what we even worked yesterday, but there was no significant outage in the enclave. Some of the work that when you are doing, you require an outage. So Tuesday, if I were to start the work on Monday, on Monday we didn't require an outage. Tuesday, our outage was required full outage, which we communicated to our customers. Yesterday, our outage was not required, but today, an outage will be required, which we have communicated to our customers. However, tomorrow, though we'll still be working, we will not be requiring full outage, but I'm sure specific outage, which we are going to inform our customers about the PA system, among other traditional medium as well, the information centers within the respective areas. So we believe that hopefully by Sunday, everything should normalize, and Monday, the system should run normally. Because once we finish with the changing of the panels as well as some breakers, we have to synchronize it to the grid as well. So hopefully by then everything should be fine.
Okay, there were some too who complained from Ahenema Kokobin. They say they have about 2 or 3 issues. First, they have
low voltage issues.
What you can describe as a protracted doom. So they have low voltage issues, and then they have pressure problem.
Yeah.
What are you doing about that situation for them?
Yeah, so for the Ahenema Kokobin incident, so not just Ahenema Kokobin, so residents within this area should, kindly hear me out. Ahenema Kokobin, Edumasa, Kuchi, Nkoraza, Bofudu, Trede, Pa, Pechinoma 2, and Pa Number 2, parts of Sokobine, Fantastic Nim, Asechim, that enclave, if you know that area very well, even ICS school, Ajamesu, Domiabra, that enclave. Yes, it is indeed true that these residents have been facing low voltage for a very long time now. In fact, last year was terrible. What we did as the medium-term solution was to create an additional line from that station, which would term as the requirement to relieve the Kokobin distribution line. But then that was just to improve the voltage because it was very bad. But now the permanent solution which we are working on, this is the reason why they are facing the low voltage issues. We supply them from the Asechim substation. Ideally, the Asechim substation should be on the range box supply points. That is one of the box supply points we have in Kumasi. But because of capacity constraints at the range box supply points, i.e., the transformer getting to its neck, the Grico transformer, is not 100% yet, but it's around 80 to 85%. And there is no Grico allow you to load this transformer to the brim. So, because of that capacity constraint over there, we are forced to supply them from our Maso box supply point. So, from our Maso box supply point through Buidi substation, through Kasi substation, before it gets to Asechim, before we can distribute. So, you bear me out that the distance from our Maso to Asechim is very far compared to from Rage to Asechim. So, because of that distance, that is why by the time the power gets to Asechim for us to distribute, the voltage has already dipped and dropped. So, what we are doing now is that, when the minister came recently, we went to Gridco, and then Gridco, as opposed to, that is what the minister mentioned, after the World Cup, there will be some upgrades at the Gridco end. So Gridco also upgrade one of their transformers from 50/66 to 120/145 MVA. So that transformer upgrade will give us enough capacity. So that capacity constraint at range will be solved. So that we'll have enough capacity to evacuate power from range, and now we can put that as a team on range. If you know as a team very well, that's fantastic. It's closer to range. The Georgia Hotel is closer. So that one will boost the voltage profile and improve the voltage profile to them. So once they are on the range BSP, anything that happens at the range will also affect them. So definitely their power situation will improve. And that's where the timelines are that between July and August. But for now, what we'll be doing is that specific areas that have
this persistent low voltage, they can inform us. They can inform our team. We'll go there and then do the what we call the tap change. We'll upgrade the tap. Oh, sorry, we'll change the tap. We'll change the tap either from tap 3 to tap 4 or 5. We'll be changing the tap as well. So maybe specific transformers, we can do that. But some of them that we cannot do anything on it, we humbly appeal to our church customers to bear with us whilst we work with people to finish the latest by August as well.
So August is when the people of Ahinema Kokobin should expect the problem to be solved, correct?
I mentioned that is more like the long-term permanent solution. However, there are some solutions that we can put in place now, i.e., the tap changing method. So some specific customers can, inform us. We'll visit their enclave and then we'll check the various trans. So maybe the tap is on 2. We can increase it to tap 3 or 4 to boost the voltage profile. Yes, what we are also doing is that we are also looking at some of the distribution transformers in the area, which we are more or less like upgrading. For some of them, the transformers are quite, should I say, reaching its capacity. So what we are doing is that we are upgrading them as well. So they shouldn't, worry yet. What we can do, that's a distribution transformer, so we are working on it. Like I said, the system voltage issue within that enclave, that is what we will be doing to work on it.
Okay, then on behalf of the people of Ahinema Kokobi, I'm informing you that they are having problems with, first of all, the supply of the electricity itself, and also the low voltage issues. So please, if you can go there and intervene for them.
Yes, I think that's the intervention that I've mentioned. Even in terms of the power supply issue, because we supply them from what's the name, Aoma, so anything that happens on the castle line also affects them as well. And the castle line, that is what the minister became to inspect and mention Avensis was doing some way. So the castle line is also being upgraded and being well done by Avensis as we speak. And for that one, the timeline is 2 months. Avensis is supposed to finish that work. So if I say 2 months, that's May, June, July. So July, he should be able to finish it as well.
Now, the people of Asofia also say things have not improved. They are still experiencing the outages. What would you say to that?
So residents around Asofia, Asamai, Adam Kwame, Nketia, Blessing, Busi Butantia, Kono Busi, Barakase, Edujama, Biensuno Matu, Ushim, Amanfum, Offenso, Kodia Mori, Dinase, Inku, Kaira, Kokote, Apiankit, Dramakintin, Enclave. Yes, what we want to let them know is that, first of all, the Sofia Enclave, that's the Adam Kwame line. And the Adam Kwame line, we are currently doing what we call extensive vegetation control on that, and then some replacement of jumpers, another operation, keep the lights on. Though they are staying at Sofia, which is in the town, their line goes all the way to the Jama, passing through Biensuno Matu. Actually, so if you know that enclave very well, it's a thick forest. So anytime there's any vegetation challenge, that i.e. any leaf or tree falls on the network, it affects those in town as well. So that is why we embark on the vegetation control activity to, minimize the outages on it. But then also what we are doing in terms of the sub-transmission network is to upgrade the Barricades 1 and 2 line, because anytime there's a problem on the Barricades 1 and 2 line, it affects them. So it's also part of the priority projects, which will also enable Ghana Water to pump water to Kumasi to boost their voltage profile as well. And when the MBK, we've made some substantial payments to the contractor, i.e. Luton. Again, we've also taxed them, instead of working 2 kilometers per day, increase to 5 kilometers, and to get more subcontractors as well. So this project, we hope that that project will be completed before the end of the year. And notwithstanding that, Adam Kwame line, i.e. those on the Sofia and Kitia, Sofia Samai, I forgot, there's just one town within that enclave as well. Achiase, yes, Achiase. Those within that enclave, but we intend to finish the vegetation control activity very soon, because in as much as we expect the rains to come down heavily, we need to prepare for it as well. But then we want our customers to give us the right of way, because sometimes when we are cutting out the trees, this person will say it's a cash crop, or this tree has been my family for years, I can't let you do that, A, B, C, D. But for that is what is causing the outage within our enclave. So let us work together and give ECG the maximum support to embark on this intensive vegetation control activity.
Now, the people. Hello, Ben.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, the people of Abuabo, their concern is that usually what they experience is, I mean, if we can call it half current or so. Now, so in the evening, usually, a part of the area will go off, the other part will be on, and sometimes too, the light keeps going off and coming back. So, what's the problem with the Abuabu area? Is it overloaded transformer so that when it gets to peak period, then they begin to have these issues?
I'm sure what is mentioned maybe I have to do with face-off issues. Like you said, other parts will have life, they will not have life and everything. I want our customers to kindly assist us with is the fact that anytime there's an outage in your enclave, kindly call ECG and report it. Because you might think because there's nothing we'll call do so or anything. No. Any outage, report it, because there are some of them that we see on our dashboard, i.e. on the high tension transmission line from the grid, but the localized fault, we don't see it unless you call us to inform us. So if there are face-offs in your enclave, this place has like this place doesn't have light, and you don't inform us, we wouldn't know until we get the information before we can come in to work on it. And sometimes this prolongs the outage duration. Meanwhile, if you had called us as soon as it happened, by 30 minutes we could have worked, but if you wait for about 4 or 5 hours before you call us, and we come in, that's around 5 hours, 30 minutes downtime. In as much as it's an inconvenience to our customer, ECG also lose revenue during that period. So for the Abuabu issue, I would humble approach of any time there is a phase of kindly inform us. That is one. Two, would appreciate if we could get a phone number to visit the area to see what is happening. But nonetheless, customers around the same Abuabu, Saraba, Ashtown, Anyokwanta, Asawase, Swamagazi, airports, area, Dichense, and all those things. What we're also doing to boost power supply to Greater Kumasi, Amako, Masafo, is that we are constructing a new line from the Omasu BSP to the airport substation. Currently, there's no direct link. There's no direct line. So if you want to move from Omasu to airport, we have to go all the way through Achinyase, through Fawade, before coming back to airport. If you know that route, you could know that it's a very long route as compared from Omasu straight to airport. And that line also is also part of our priority projects, which we intend to complete by the end of the year. All is geared towards boosting power supply to Greater Kumasi. So, yes, we admit there are some challenges in the system. However, power situation, which I think Alfa, you bear me out, has improved compared to when we had the Akusumo fire incident.
The last time I acknowledged its improvement, but few days after that, you guys were just taking my light away, so I didn't know. But yeah,
I think the interventions which we've mentioned, which the enemy makes that to mention, even aside that, in terms of generation as well, the minister mentioned Ashanti is like job 1,000 megawatts.
Okay.
Generation in Ashanti.
What's the latest with regards to the changing of transformers?
No, okay. In terms of change of transformers, like I mentioned, we have two types of transformers. We have the distribution transformers and then power transformers. So distribution transformers are the smaller ones that we see in our localities, sometimes on poles, sometimes on the ground. Like you mentioned, that we should go and check their transformer. That is the distribution transformer. But the power transformers are the very big ones, which we see in our substations. So last week, we first of all completed the replacement of one power transformer at the range box supply points. So what we did was there were two 20/26 MVA transformers, so then we upgraded both of them to 30/39 MVA, and we intend to send the 20 that we replaced. We are not discarding it. We intend to send it to Offenso. Once that work, we get a green light also, we'll come out to inform our choice customers and our stakeholders. So what we are doing is that we are replacing power, we are upgrading power transformers at the same time doing distribution transformers. So distribution transformers also, we've commissioned some of them this year, and we'll continue to commission. So for distribution transformers, the replacements are ongoing.
Let's leave it here. Thank you very much. Okay, I think I've seen a question. Let me see if I can read it so that you can address the question for me. Okay, so let me. I'm trying to find the question. Okay, I think yes, I asked the question about Ahinema Kokobin. Okay, let's leave it here. Thank you very much for speaking with us. We are really grateful for your time, sir.
Thank you very much, Alfa.
So that's the PRO for ECG speaking with us this morning about the Dumso issues. And he said that for some days now we've seen improvement. It's bringing the time to 24 minutes after 8. You're still listening to the Orange Sunrise.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Challenge a come on for a light. And then my force will be your light. Your light. Easy for you, who you mob on a ten and we say you're free and you're fine. And you're fine. And you're fine. And then I come to 7-4 off. And Shama Bay a crop. Let's jump on your water switch in it. And then one the cocoa say I won't die rough. And the ball bed. So come on for a light. And then tell my be your light. Your light. Your light. Easy for you, who you mob on a ten and we say you're free and you're fine. And you're fine. And you're fine. And then I come to 7-4 off. I shall my bay a crop. Let's jump when I want to switch in it. And then one the cocoa say I won't die rough. Hello, Zach. What's up? What's up, boy? I wouldn't know. Now I know. Now I like you. Now you're ready to come. Okay, because they do me anything here. I'm not charging my phone. Okay. Nyankopon sane amba from my camera mame. Ye beto me mane de woni pe bia bedwane. O man a wuti ma wo life kwa wonto me plan would assume. O sanso ni sika wodi twaduane. Enka na ewu kosuku aye se watra. Ende uni generator na chese wa mbobra. Ahokyere adade nkuto ma ye di bistra. O man na simoja ye se oba wa ye bra. Me nkoti ameti opposition ama me cash aka me wafa se ne woda so fa back. Mo dem fa politics and the facts na de bia. Cause I say yen support ha. My company me moje na go tia me bills. Light in this wingi na so se krasini in the hills. I dream me mushi shime me dam and me di me titu keta so cram me fa pills. Station habo fa boka. Na my fridge mama. Titi brothers se complaining na carpenter wa woba. Dum swada horoma and na pata so na ye da. Na ye befa we mu nyina na moda so da ye ka. Kolebu ni 37 ye di nipa ko hoda. Wo be kona ye afu yi na he woda hosa. Ko hwe leba ward en kolani kemu ma. Eno na me ye mo shimia na makemu ha. Mo de munku yen. Or she were to me kuni pana Ghana for the team. Ghana for the team. Some of them would have AC when I'm with you musim. And I'm with you musim. And I'm with you musim. Tanya Ebola de Kuya, Doom son the nim. The Doom son the nim. Doom son the nim. The Jumanko Ameguno Mum Pim come and nim.
So yes, we've been trying to get through to lawyer Nanakwa, who is a law lecturer at the Faculty of Law, KNUST, but I'm sure he is unavailable as we speak. So as and when we get him, we'll speak to him this morning on the first issue that we briefly talked about. So I think the arrest of Abronye was in regards to speech I think a comment he made about a judge. And he felt that the judge was not fair in his ruling, and he made a comment to that effect. Don't forget that Baba Amando not long ago also posted a picture of President Mahama, Sam George, and Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, depicting them as persons who are enabling or supporting gayism and lesbianism, and who was arrested. He was denied bail, and it was something that we did talk about. Now, there have been a number of such kinds of arrests in recent times, and we are also told that the executive of the MPP in Agona East also allegedly posted something on Facebook suggesting that President Mahama has returned with Dumso So he too has been arrested. And we're making the point that, and there's also the Stoneboy one. Somebody criticized Stoneboy. I think I will have to find out exactly what the criticisms were about. But he too has been arrested. So what we are trying to say is that we are not saying that people should make reckless comments. I mean, you have to be cautious of the kind of comment you make. It's very important. The fact that you have freedom of speech does not mean that you can say whatever you want. There's limits to every right that you're expected to enjoy, and you have to behave with the view or with the knowledge that it's not everything that you can do or say and go scot-free. So we are not saying people should, on Facebook, on traditional media platforms, should be making reckless comments. I think some of the comments, you don't have to make them. Okay. But I also think that some of the comments does not warrant arrest. For instance, if I say President Mahama is back with Dumso, you should not be arresting such a person because of such a comment. No, that is like using a bulldozer to kill a fly. I wouldn't even use sledgehammer. Sledgehammer has it's like the antidote is extreme. Because what you are saying is that you are going to use this law to silence your critics, and that nobody should go on Facebook and write something bad about the government. And that you can use that and use the law to arrest such people. That's like the reintroduction of culture of silence. I think we have gone past that. I think that was...
democracy is older than this.
Yeah, that was long time ago. And I am concerned that it is under President Mahama that we are seeing these things. Because personally, what I see from President Mahama gives me the impression that he's a very tolerant leader. I've seen examples of things to let me think that President Mahama is a very tolerant leader. So what I expect is that the people who work below him will reflect that personality or that persona. But for me to be seen arrest, Baba Mando, some flyer be arrest, then I am shocked though.
Oh, it's shocking.
I am surprised.
The way I'm seeing it, it can get out of hand, and if it does get out of hand, and you see, one thing that we say on this show is that we should have principles in life. If person A is doing it and we are saying it is wrong, that same thing won't be right when person B does it. Wrong is wrong, and right should be right. And so I don't know why we've gotten to this point. Number one, the intention behind the arrest is what I'm worried about. Now, are you saying you're arresting the person because you don't want misinformation to spread? Are there not other ways to go about it? Is arrest the only way of sanitizing the things that people put on social media? Are you just trying to send a message out? Because I don't understand. From where I sit, it looks like intimidation tactics.
And it looks as if
because what has
all
not
the
been
comments are political in nature.
And the people who are arrested
are political actors.
And they are
making
problem.
the comment about political actors.
How many people have commented about this Drumso situation? Why is it that when a particular person, or is it that the person has influence and the person is in a certain position to influence public opinion, and so when the person says it is more criminal than when an ordinary person, we are leaving it.
Yes.
And Dumso aside, people are entitled to have political affiliations, and they're entitled to do their own politics in a way that, but
and they're entitled to criticize.
Yes.
You may say it's not true, but if you're beginning to arrest people because they have said something you think is not true. How many people are we going to arrest?
And something you think is insinuating something.
Yes. How many people are we going to arrest in a day? No, I think we can do better.
As I've
And you
said,
see,
Alpha,
the arrest is not helping this government. Maybe
At
they
all.
think, what are they benefiting
at all,
from?
because it is better to prove what the person said wrong than to arrest the person. Then you are giving it more attention, because there are some of these issues that I didn't know it had been said until the arrest was granted, was done, was whatever.
Effected.
I didn't know Abronya had said something, but then I heard about it when Iyoko brought him in, and I had to go and look at what did he say. So again, there are some things that won't even get public attention as much as it gets when you do some of these things. And I don't know why people should be questioned because someone thinks one is misinformation. It is. I don't know why that is, because like I said, even before this act was passed, people were entitled to sue others for defamation. So if I say something that you think that, oh, I don't have my facts right, or I lied about you and it has caused you some harm, you can
What happens
sue
to
me.
that option?
You can always sue me
For damages?
Yeah. So for instance, the photo that we are talking about, that someone posted.
Maybe some judge could have gone to court and say, why?
There's
Why
no
do you have
need.
to spend public funds?
There's no need for national security to get
And
involved.
be going and be
National security.
wasting everybody's time. And now, so I'm saying that those who are advising the government when it comes to matters of security, so can't you see that this thing is making your government rather look unpopular?
Oh.
So we are the ones even helping you this morning, so that you will stop some of this unnecessary stuff and focus on the most important stuff. What is this arrest about? Somebody has posted something. What kind of
Justification.
what?
is that?
I mean, it's terrible. Because I'm telling you that the personality of President Mahama and what we are seeing, it doesn't correlate. Except he is aware, and just that maybe we don't know. But I'll be surprised that looking at what I've seen from him personally, and looking at people being arrested because of social media posts saying that do so.
How?
If they even say, oh, maybe something about nationals, maybe that one you
How?
can't. But they are just criticizing a government that they think has brought back doom. So this is normal within a democratic context. Democracy is all about let's argue, debate. You disagree, we agree, we don't agree.
So arrest
You,
cannot be your
so
first reason
so when we are
someone
arresting
comes
people
after
because they are disagreeing and they are no, you are defeating the fundamental purpose for this democracy. So then let's go back to then ages. Then we know that
We can't say
now
anything.
you have to just keep quiet and suffer. No, 2026 we can't be seeing this. And those who are closer to President Mahama should be advising him that he should tell the security people they are not helping him with this arrest. He doesn't need this arrest. And when he will not benefit anything from it. Especially when people are making mild comments in the nature that we've said, criticizing a judge's ruling. It is within their right to do so. You can criticize a judge's ruling. Saying Dumso has come. This should not cause somebody's arrest. Oh, no. I mean, it's we can do better. This is Ghana. We started our democracy in 92. We are very matured. When you're 30-something years, you should be getting closer to marriage. That's why people are putting pressure on me to marry. Because you understand? So you are matured. You are well experienced in life. You shouldn't be making some of these fundamental
And
mistakes.
you know another thing. When they keep on carrying these kind of arrests, it feeds into the narrative that state institutions are being politicized.
Yeah.
That is how I see it. Because why is it that almost every time it is
The
from the
MPP
other
people. Why?
You get it?
Because you have power, so they shouldn't speak. No, what kind of attitude
What
is
was
this?
not said about the MPP when the NDC was
I'm
in
telling
office?
you, the MPP that you said they were intolerant, they didn't make some of these things.
Oh.
How many people have been arrested as we speak? Almost everybody who will say something, arrested. What is that? We are even fatigued about why? Oh, so no, we should keep quiet. Everything is okay. Then why did you choose to be a party in this democracy? Don't you know that is what democracy requires?
Let's just say that it's a one-party state or something.
What is that?
No one can criticize.
Then so security, they are just on the lookout for people who are posting things.
Can you imagine?
What is this? Please, you can do better. We are Charlie. Don't let us do this. This morning we are spending precious time discussing this. And the problem is that the security people, they won't come and talk. It is the party people who will be chosen to come and be defending this. And some of them will defend it. How? Can't we see this is going to hurt your party? And it is hurting your party. Your party will be seen to be intolerant.
It is hurting our democracy, most important.
Yes.
That's it. But we can't continue like this.
Please, NDC folks, do better.
Can't.
It's reset you promise. This is like taking us to 1979 or 81 or early periods of 92. That one, we're not seeing these kinds of things.
But the speech issue now, I think, as you said, maybe we should speak to a lawyer on that, because, like I said, I think speech is one of the most important things in any democracy. If you say that democracy is what you want to practice as a country, as a nation, speech is one of the things that is very delicate, because, like I said, anytime there's a law to regulate speech, some of these issues,
it's misused, it's abused. So the abuse is what we are seeing. We have said our own. The government, you can listen or you can choose not to listen. And the security people, maybe they will too, they can arrest us. Charlie, sometimes you think about fundamental problems. These fundamental mistakes. So then they I'll try and see if we can So let's go onto the telephone line. I think a lawyer has joined us. So let's briefly discuss these matters. Lawyer, good morning.
Good morning, Alfa.
I hope you're doing well.
Much better. Yourself?
Yes, I'm doing well too.
We thank God.
This morning we are not happy that it looks as if speech is being criminalized and people are being arrested just for posting flyers, posting about Doomsday coming back. People are being arrested or remanded because they have criticized the judge's ruling. And some say this is not good for a democracy. This is like taking us to the military regime era. As a lawyer, are you concerned about these latest arrests we are seeing on the basis of these reasons?
Not really. I'm actually sorry. Before I even start, my greetings to the listeners, that to the chiefs in the country, my colleagues, lecturers, I have to the law and the university. Wow. What I'm saying is this, Alfa, I have no concern. I'm not much concerned about what is happening. My concern is actually directed at those who are not aware of the law and are worried and are complaining. Alfa, if you recall, sometime in 2001, we were all informed that criminal libel has been repealed. So for the listeners who are not aware about the very law that have been used to limiting every statement that may end up in the reputation of another person cannot be prosecuted. But that is not it. If you look at the criminal libel law that have been repealed, it's only section 101 to section 119 of the Criminal Offences Act 29. That was repealed. All the other offences still stand. So that in this particular case, which is 4, and it would lead to generating any riot, to create impressions which are negative, or which people can maybe stand up against the government. Yes, criminal procedure. In which case, you find that they will pose threat to the security of the state. So, Alpha, there is a section we have in our act that goes against conduct as such. So yes, you can exercise your right, freedom of expression and stuff. But remember, you cannot make statements which are false. If you make false statements in Ghana about matters which at the end may lead to the commission of a crime, you'll be prosecuted. You will not be absolved.
But lawyers, some say this will bring about absurdity, because if we are going to make arrests because people have said something we think is not true, then on a day we are going to be arresting a lot of people, because that's the nature of debate. You may say something that might not be true, or you may say something that the other person might not think is true, and so something this should not cause arrest. This is fundamental in a democracy. So if you are beginning to arrest people on the basis of that, then it defeats the very purpose of democratic governance, doesn't it?
No, please. Alpha. One, when it comes to our freedom and our constitution, we should generally appreciate this, that where Alpha, your freedom ends, that is where my freedom begins. Others even put it this way, that your freedom ends at the tip of the nose of your neighbor. So that once you understand this, we are saying that aside the carte blanche provision in the constitution about your freedom of expression, media rights and stuff, there is this provision when it comes to criminal law, where you have section 208 of the Criminal Offences Act that actually criminalizes publication of false news. So Alpha, if you put it in a right perspective, in respect of one of the accused persons, you find that all that he did was he went to his Facebook platform page and then posted a signpost and made a statement that he is around the Chapel Hill square, and this is a signpost that has been posted there. Alpha, what was on the signpost? A poster that has a picture of the president there and a statement that Shaw is back. As if that statement was coming from the president. So then if they go into it and they find that signpost never existed, again that statement was not made by the president, that means that publication is false. Then the next thing should be, what is the person trying to do with that statement, that publication? Unless of course the person wants to rip up a negative public sentiment against the state. So you have that section 208 that talks about publication of false news. A person who publishes or reproduces statement, rumor or report in breach which can cause a breach of peace is likely to become convicted for that offense.
Now,
so yes, you may have your right, freedom of expression, but with that you have these laws that kind of take some of the freedom, so that you don't end up beating the peace. Beating the peace would be to lead to war, lead to riot, and persons in your opposite device in terms of political device. They turn against you. You may be taking your words or it's taking your weapon.
Okay, now let's look at the application of the law. Ever since this law came into being, we've never seen it being applied on the members of the government. It's usually applied against members of the opposition. Some look at it and say, based on how it's been applied, it's quite clear that this is being used to target members of the opposition. What do you think about that, sir?
That's also the opinion. However, my worry is how the politicians are handling our criminal justice system. However, sometimes, for instance, the Supreme Court in Frimpong, alias Igbo man versus the Attorney General, made a pronouncement that our legal system, our criminal justice system, is on a time bomb to the extent that even people who have been convicted and imprisoned, they don't go there to be reformed. They rather come out to be more hardened criminals. And therefore, there's a need to do something about our criminal justice system. 2010, there, what has been done? Again, the same Supreme Court came out with a pronouncement when they realized that the police were taking advantage of a 48-hour rule and were incarcerating people himself on Fridays. Then it take them through the Saturday, Sunday, and then the Monday before they will grant them bail. The Supreme Court realized that they were abusing that process. So the Supreme Court made a pronouncement that that is wrong. They should now make sure they can grant bails within weekends. The court should also be able to sit down within weekends. The Supreme Court made several pronouncements and made certain orders directed at certain courtesses for things to be done. Today, Alfa, these things have not been done. If we are taking cognizance of these orders of the Supreme Court and then the warnings of the Supreme Court that we are sitting on a time bomb, the laws of our laws would have been revised in such a way that if we are now applying them, we will not look at them and think it's political witch hunting. The laws themselves, there are problems with them.
Okay. Lawyer, thank you very much for your education this morning. We are grateful for your time. And that's Lawyer Nana Akua III. He said that, yes, the law specifically stipulates that if you make a statement that is false, then it's a criminal offense and you can be charged and you can be prosecuted for that. You know, it was Martin Luther King who said, unjust laws themselves are not laws. So my view is, if we have repealed the criminal libel law, I think it's important we look at this new law again. There are some aspects of the law that are good. But this issue about people being arrested because we think they have made false statements, especially when it doesn't threaten the peace of the country, when it doesn't threaten the national security of the country. If it is defaming personalities, those personalities know what to do. But for us to say, if somebody said there's a picture that a signpost that says President Mahama announcing Dumso is back, and you say we are going to arrest people on that basis. Oh. So
that one, what is the justification that Dumso is not back, or that President Mahama is not associated with Dumso?
So I think President Mahama has not said that. So because President Mahama has not said that, if you post a flyer that depicts him saying that, you've made a false statement, and so you can be criminally prosecuted in 2026. Wow, that for me is too extreme. And also its application. So are we saying that for 2 years now, no member of NDC has made false statement?
Or said anything about someone that's
every member of the NDC, everything they have said, true. It is only MPP people who are making false statements. No, you can't tell me this. Charlie. Selective application of the law itself is a problem. Let's speak some calls. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Bella. I'm calling from Kumasi.
Yes, Kobe. Good morning. Talk to me.
Alpha, I just heard the lawyer speak on the issue of the arrest for misinformation. About this country, some of us pray that this law, nobody should repeal this law. Let this law be applied for both parties in government. And nobody should try to repeal this law. Anytime any of them come to government, they should keep on applying this law. And let's see who suffers.
So crazy. Huh? It's so crazy that even when you cough, they'll have to come and arrest you. And then waste a whole lot of time. Alpha, when Janice just said that she never heard about what Abonya said, frankly speaking, myself, I didn't even know that Bronya has made any comment until yesterday. So who is now amplifying what Abronya has said? Alpha, who is now amplifying what Abronya has said? It's not the very people who are trying to prevent that. You are not amplifying that. So when someone says Doomsa is back, who doesn't know that Doomsa is back? Is it news? Is this news? Or it don't give it tag to you? The fact of the matter is that you've already taken that tag. Well, we'll keep on making comments. Then they'll have to arrest all of us. Let's just open the prisons, the security centers, the national. And Alpha, to come to think about it, that it's a national security is following this thing. There are a whole lot of problems in this country. National security has done nothing about them. A whole lot of problems in this country. They should come to just here. I'll show them plenty of problems that they are doing nothing about it. They have time to go and fool up on anybody who says, "Oh, Doomsday is back. This is this." It's a shame on us. At 2026, we are still doing this things to ourselves. But as I said, let's just leave the law there. Both parties in government should apply it. Let's see where all of us will head towards. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Mr. Ahmed, with your submission this morning. You can also call me 0541 022318 is the number. What do you make of this law and how it's been applied? And good morning.
Hello, good morning, Alfa.
Yes, your name and where you're calling me? Okay, me too.
Alfa, I can't make him say. Lawyer, not more back high. It's like the weaker said, Doomsday is back. I didn't know so much, you know. Na NDC for almost the year or some heavy be a real more and yet also we have to go on mine. You do can you as far as the semi free to cry say into my anchor. I'm follow Quentin near Dow. Almost heavy be ye. But they say a mine is so papa. So I'm going to home the light to meet my anchor. I'm your that's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us this morning with your view as well. You can also call me 0541 022318. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yes.
I'm Billy calling from it.
Yes, lower the volume for me so that we can hear you.
Yeah.
Talk to me, sir.
I've lowered the volume.
Yes, tell me. What do you think?
But sometimes I find it very difficult understanding you and Janet.
Yeah, you will find it very difficult. We too, we find it very difficult to understand.
When you ask some questions.
Sometimes
in the criminal code, there is a code that we call insulting behavior. If you insult somebody, the person has the right to go and report you to the police for you to be arrested. I'm telling you.
Which section of the code are you referring to, sir?
I've forgotten it, but you just research. You are a journalist. You just research.
No, but I thought you were coming to make a point. You may have made your research.
I'm making my point. Listen. My point is that we have to put it down board. I will be president here. You also. When I have put it, president at the boss. The president tonight, I said the other side. Doomsday is back. Now, we are Obeka who defending.
Why not defending?
Don't misinform. You are misinforming the public. The president said he also wants to say, Doomsday is back, which is not true. I am misinformation. And Nana Kupadu passed this law. So with this misinformation, that person should be arrested because what this people call for. And it's not about one anymore. Alpha.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that the good thing about some of these things is that when it's applied against people sometimes will speak in this way. It is only when it is applied to them, then they will join you. So as for we in the middle, we have suffered. Because at every point in time, people will either come with you but we are not going to be Masa. If it is terrible, it's terrible. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, Nigerian woman, me too.
Nigeria woman back up. That's what I'm want to say.
Me I do me who you know.
It's my way. Mammy, you know, Mammy Danny.
Oh, you, Yati.
And now, I'm a excellency of the money Mahama. Who judge this year, Papa B. Ben Martin Gramwa who affair. Say Jata. Wabojuma. Almost a day. Every before almost a day. Move back to 8 years. Again, I'm away. No, will be I am way in your room. Obi again to the Pacone can say. Luso is back. Again, I want a dream until I can't assassin. I don't know Moncano. I am Moncano, Musana Mashi Santa, Ariakotana, sorry them. Again, I want a dream until I walk as who miss a honor. Luso is back. Only the name or cancer. Say a year, a cotton way, like in a dim. Ashy. Farming command, so like you, what is this ashy? And only the Bamaya to Abama MPP for now. Abama born in a Mubebu Yano. Ghana force a woman pet. And you have bomb garage to a cotton and William or some William. Ade, your man penny papa, about papa, ya wash is on mine. I'm an day. I course a yamofe, and no coach your mouth idea to say. Namu do Kanya, Bahat. What's an amon in the room and classy and a cocoa never bonus say. Namu this year, this come among some coto, moon frontier cocoa worker. Namakotina, a code where eto. And then the moon got idea on Moyan. Ade, what person Ghana ye ya? Mumbe ni no kure. Ade, nipa ya jene nya mun kanchira no. Ka de wo ye na wanye ni ye. Adwumboni e woni trim o de kan asasam. Na fe se abachirwa. Be abachira ase. Eno so muti ahon na mo ye dai. Mo so no so say na say na ye machiri ye nya bachiri ye na. Obi obakasa bia atia amammo papa yi God the money Mahama ebo yanti chi wo mu nyina.
Thank you very much. It's really interesting, isn't it? 0541022318. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Alfa.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, Jenny Snemite.
Yo.
Alfa, I mean, you say, and this is one the Omoha Betinakin because Omokopi Omo leader no. Usanon Tiankwa and Tiazude and Fanya Way because Anke Sadia, the penny for being MPP for penny for be a good and come back to be I can't. Use a way say graphic not for now on delegate graphic me way a omo utimi usa community farmia di kuraba butunet niti on pa ya niema bi yatima mu dia na mo di for monka to what ya kan kura nipa no ya say ya kan law na wo kan busy words kire obi ana kwase aboa bi a enu no otimi che we won di o ma panyina temo ya wo ma ni ma no kura dun so aba ade na nipa no kan mo se mo no baby mun yan fa no kura ni nya adwuma empie bia anya ze nkiye nyina mbati agumo enso Ghana ya no kura no na ya nyina ya we development bede ebeba ntino dia nsando enye omo de omo ya no mo rasu mu mai no enu na nyia because ya brepa wate omunsa ya mpabuwa ni binti no omo yesa na enye muni nyamenya adwuma.
Thank you very much, Kobe, for joining us this morning. So we can pick few calls on 0541022318. Good morning.
Good morning, Alpha. How are you?
I am good. I hope you are good too.
Yes, I'm also doing fine.
Yes, talk to me.
Yes. Alpha, somebody go to
billboard, a private businessman billboard, and put a caption there, like the picture of the president, and the caption that is attributing to the president, of which president, according to that guy, president is saying that, are you hear me? Hello, Alfa. Hello, Alfa.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. You see, somebody go to a private businessman's billboard and then put a picture of the president and the caption. President is saying that, attributed to the president. President is saying that Dumsa is back. So conveying this to the international body, to the international businessman, and even that is not it. It is not the president who is, calling for the arrest, who are calling for the arrest of this guy. It is the private businessman. That guy went and used the private businessman's billboard. Why is it that he don't go and use his own billboard or put his own billboard? Mama is so tolerant. Don't forget, there is a second phone that is even called Mama Fali. Who did Mama arrested or who has Mama arrested for that? There are so many attributions. Alidu, the former MC of Sokolampo, he has come to your studio to say that Yumsa is back. Was he arrested? No, it was the message in his way. So this person has been, arrested by a private businessman who this guy went and used his billboard. And we are saying that what? It is the NDC that is arresting this guy. Let us come to the other one, the homosexual. Somebody put a picture of Mahama, of Osakwati, and so those black and those guys, and then use them as they were. If you look at that picture very well, they were in an act of homosexuality, and you are saying that you should allow that person to go. That he has put somebody. My good friend, if somebody takes your picture and post it, you be naked, another man be naked, and say that you are into homosexual. My brother, let us put our shoes in somebody's shoe. If it is true, let us say it is true. If it is wrong, let us say it is wrong. And Abraham, for instance, Abraham that you mentioned, that one too, you are alluding it to NDC. That yet an NDC person. This is Abraham who has said something bad about that yet, and they just have called for the arrest of that Abraham, and you are actually decided it's the NDC people who have arrested Abraham. That is not it.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. That Mr. Badu's comments. This one says that okay. This one said okay. Let me pick this caller first before. Good morning.
Good morning, Alfa.
Yes, Mr. Eja, talk to me.
Alfa, when you say me, no credit, and I may make FINDC who, FIMPP who, may no credit. Oh, say, assembly are lawyer, in yet you. So, you know, empathy, I can't continue. Part of the lawyer's speech, you know, and I say, the comment. Yeah, UBF. Was it? Hello.
Yes, me too.
What did President the picture to so? And why illustrate it? Say, as some know the word is coming from the president's mouth. I just know, guy. Oh, and you know, maybe I was dinner. Ya wo hunu say president ebie na no a wo kasa asem omra mekire se Alfa utiwe ya kasa kire say efiri say president yi ba akunwa so yi wo gina ba bia kasa dun so me di dun so ababak wo betumi akire na so de wo akwa hunu brother betra we so say e will be dun so is back na illustration no a wo ye na image no de to so no yeah, or yes, science said, no free president and no, and the monka. Come doing so by and then in the musicians be brave, I am. Yeah, you'll be then. First, doing so by and no, Sakodia or the Abonium, be brave, the Abonium, yeah, you'll be then. Doing so has become an uproar in this country. I've getting beer.
One Yakochino. Nasa o wako prove Bibidia, and now what will Bibia, Yenina Yemunia. Well, never prove our wins so. Hey, I say, we have a president in it. Oh,
Thank you.
Nasa Ghana for ye, Sami Diano. Well, so obey disrespect to Biakra, not on the president. And you know, when we are with you, and yes, I didn't, woman penny for. So, not on the president. With me, I know we are not the first gentleman of the land. Well, they said, yeah, I say, oh, just a crowd here who move, yeah, who move and move, yeah. And the social media and our mind. And so, yeah, you fee, and found company for.
Thank you very much. I just look at it and I wish that this principle was applied throughout. Because if it applied when the NDC were in opposition, in my head I can count the number of persons that will have been arrested. and I'll be able to predict what the NDC would have said. Say intolerance, they will say this. So, but you know, that's our challenge as a country. You look at things usually from the political perspective. And so if your party is the one doing it, everything is fine. If it's been done against you, then you can shout. And those of us who are usually in the middle, if it were NDC who were in government, you'll be their friends. And then when things change, then we are used to it. It's okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Dachimitiyo.
I just want to cry. I just want to cry. And see, I didn't be able to say, or they any free Obianumba. Ava, who said a cartoon to what Gatica? The Sakosia and Alfa will not be a car yet. Ava, let me say, people be a mamma for you. They are called a Kufuado. Yantia Kuantu be a woman carrying Yantubia. Obuja Kufuado, Nitia Watcher, you two that I'm so, woman kind. Yet you ever. Obisa, I look for a Kufuado because you have to man who you have to go to the letter about 1 minute. And this you know. About, I don't know how I got, only on Tanaka. Now, Mr. Badu, and Nigeria woman there, Missy. The others and the metro of Yamasako, Makobi. And then we be back. My wife never could be a medical, Mr. Mato, let's say, where would that? I know what more question yet. Then you are your casa. Through our feet, no. Only a beer, there are no more can be a criminality is equal to say back. Someone that will want to Moody Senica, maybe say no. I thought I better than the laboratory. About the question, yeah, so be every year be born. That will be Uncle Papa be born too. Or no, or social media. Or no, the two or year. And everybody is going to do. I don't look at us. Or no, I know 5 all the fools will be young. Well, the answer and the say. However, the
They be almost doing general.
how much not because almost the table will stand. We are going to arrest them. I'll cut off for the arrest.
David, won't me a one guy here. Much who carries to this one says, please. Okay, let me listen to this voice note.
Yeah, Alpha, good morning. Good morning to your co-host and the other listeners. This issue, I think that there are problems with it. You see, let's encourage constructive criticism. I mean, the government is not beyond criticism. That is fine. That is agreed. We all understand that. But let's not also support people who peddle falsehood. I mean, you could have just said Doomsaw is back without going to get some image and stand by it and say, I'm here, and there's a picture of the president and it's written under Doomsaw is back when it's not there. I mean, it means you have intentions. You want to cause chaos, and that should not be allowed. We should encourage criticism of the government, constructive criticism, but we shouldn't support people who are peddling falsehood and we think that that's democracy. No, that is not. Democracy does not mean I mean, irresponsible talking, it doesn't mean you should do anything you want because you're in democracy. So I don't support it. I mean, if they've arrested him, that is fair. He shouldn't have done that. You don't peddle falsehood. He could have just said Doomsday is back without putting all those pictures there. And that one, I don't think anybody would have gone to arrest
Hello,
him.
good
Thank
morning.
Good morning, Abba.
Yes, entry.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah. Calling from Automatic.
Mm.
Abba, I said the Biana Mekase. Mona Yana, Moazem Hami. More radio stations and I'm more women. Mona Yana Moazem Hami. Because, yeah, na Angrophogen is a Ujina, Uo, Party, yeah, and as all party be. Did there be a one of the blame Bowser? And near my winning as well, mine, Yasin, ye and the BBA Coso Kama, as I near my winning and Kinsey. Kaban the open home by institutions be to say electricity company in Nasifo. See, Doom Kania, a buy fan home bay, as a buying a share, ma a bibio muhia biana or mino, as I near mano, a becoso, a bibia a function well, said the beya to Mamufonos home by Joe. It isn't here do light ya, and ya buy some ECG for the essay and one the other, you know, the retazo. And the way a bind doesn't come in, could anti-go, Hokran, and Niquasa buying say will be the picture Bible to say doom saba. No, sa papa ba e wo man nu mu a aban wo fa. San so na boni ba e wo bre so so a e say wo fa. Ni kwa say we say ko fa yi bia ba say because we NDC ni na we NPP ni na ko kan je say e kwache nitum. We nyina doesn't call for these things. O man ni hihye ani ade a yen hwehwe ani mu kwai. Me no wo kasa sisi ama lights of wo ha sisi a. So when we are so sad, you doom no so. Why name the doom saba? As you when you are the anchors are buying and I say police need being put an opinion bia would be in a buying a nimuno, a becassa would be a quack intimate that a failure, a dear winning a failure, or minor musician yellow. That is what we are looking for. And yet the more and near upon money, I mean, my medicine.
Thank you. We'll pick our last caller and then we'll start our conversation in studio. This morning we'll talk about the proper way of handling waste, because in Kumasi we have an issue with waste. Don't forget that the Oti landfill site not long ago we were told that was full to capacity. And
hello.
Alfa,
good morning.
Good morning.
Your friend double to be free as Sophia Chiasi. Incidents with BSC, ewo untumi FM. Ubi kwa kase ye babe tuaba na ene den ye babe tuama MPP the president adiche babe tuama NDC die. Emo mo che no. Oh, ntimi na ye Air Force, adibi Air Force bia na kali so aso aso ye no. O say abana she timetable. Abran so entisa. Na lawyer no so akase sometimes you am some ye indicate your ho kakra. In a church will be on mana with him. If na what obetumi akasa abra won tagi will be a we okay. Na we tag him say be me double to makana say no kra. That's a be see a wetumi akoma places my place Friday and atu. Enti no yam say it listen so no sometimes we yen swin your makakra en free mu. Do ya na ya how there but doing yan ye swin there. Now so one was afan so bi won so educate akra me yen hu. Say in Perco can't tell my dear chain one kind of was say oh doom saba the slam one my insulin macarena and your farm wire.
That's our last caller. We'll come back to the studio and have a conversation. So I've been joined in studio by, as for the portfolio, I have to be sure, is it corporate communications or
so business development manager.
Business development manager. Okay.
So business development manager, Kumasi Compost and Recycling Plant Limited, and the regional president for Environmental Service Providers Association.
Okay, you are the regional president.
Yes, please.
For Environmental Service Providers Association.
Yeah.
And the name is Mr. Eugene.
But it's okay.
Engineer and engineer
Eugene Amo.
Amo.
Eugene Amo.
Eugene Amo. So, but there is engineer and there is Eugene.
The engineer is a
title. So, I thought when I said in Eugene, you meant to say no. It's not rather. I wanted to be sure. So Engineer Eugene Amo Samuel. Amo Asamoah. Sorry, Amo Asamoah. So, good morning once again. Good morning once again. Yes, we can use use this one. So let me see if you can, if you can be heard.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes, it's okay. Right. But you may want to come a bit closer, so that.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you heard not long ago that our landfill site at OT was full to capacity, and I think at a point it was even closed down.
Okay.
And a lot of people were complaining that these people, the people who come to collect the waste, cannot be found, because I'm sure when they go there, they are compelled to be in a queue for a long time. So it was a crisis. And as we speak, it's still a problem that the Metropolitan Assembly will have to find solutions to it. What's your view about that development? What do you think is the challenge?
All right, so thank you very much, Alpha. I would want to thank your listeners and viewers as well. There's an issue in Kumasi with regards to waste management and sanitation, as you've rightly said. But if you ask me, the reason for this issue, let me start from an angle. You know, when we talk about waste, we have a Ghana environmental sanitation policy that states that waste is a property of government, or waste belongs to government, and it will be managed in a manner that protects public health and the environment. So it means that whatever waste that we see around belongs to government. And we should also be mindful and know that waste generation is proportional to population growth. What it means is that as population increases, as urbanization increases, people will generate waste, and waste will be generated on a daily basis. We can't do anything in regards to the generation of waste. But what can be done is to provide systems that are able to handle or manage the waste that is produced or generated on a daily basis. We have the Environmental Service Providers Association, which is a coalition of private companies that have come together to assist government carry out its mandate. I've already mentioned that waste management, or waste, belongs to government, and by extension its management is also the preserve of government. So we have private entities who have come in to assist government deliver on that mandate. When it comes to those private entities, they form the Environmental Service Providers Association, or ESPA. So we have formal companies and we have informal companies. When it comes to collection of waste, and even the waste, we have solid waste, we have liquid waste, we have medical waste, we have oil waste, we have hazardous waste, electronic and electrical waste. All of these are there. So we have entities that are into collection. So we have the Zoom Lions who go around either the households or the communal container sites to pick containers and then send them to treatment centers. We have the Aboboya people. They form the majority of the informal entities that go around to also collect waste. We have the cesspit emptiers, those who come to our households to dislodge liquid waste from our cesspits. We have those who go around the hospitals and medical centers to pick medical waste so that they will be sent to a proper place for treatment. We have those who pick or collect oil waste, a lot of them. So there are aspects or stages of waste. Waste will be generated, as I've already mentioned, at generation points. Wherever people gather, waste will be generated. And then they have to be collected to designated sites for proper treatment. So the issue that we have here in Kumasi, you mentioned that the OT landfill is near its capacity, and as such, those who collect waste are unable to dispose of their waste freely. The challenge mainly is that OT landfill was designed for, I think, about 15 years. So OT landfill, as we speak now, has outlived its design period. And in this day and age, the world over has moved from the linear economy to a circular economy in terms of waste management. And I will explain. The linear economy is where you collect waste and then you just dispose of the waste. So collection and disposal, that is the linear way. But now, the system that has been accepted in the whole world is the circular way of managing waste, where we know that waste is not only waste but also a resource, where you are able to segregate the components of waste into the organics, plastics, papers, metals, textiles, what have you, and then you valorize them, you add value to these components so that they become useful to the environment. Because if you do the linear way where you do collection and disposal, the organics, even in Ghana, the organic fractions in the waste composition is about 60%. And these organics, yes, if you don't treat them properly, there's what we call leachate. When you have organics decomposing, there's some liquids that come out. And these liquids is called leachate. When it gets into the soil, it destroys the soil. When it gets into our water bodies, it destroys our water bodies. When the organics are decomposing, they also emit some gases, these greenhouse gases, methane and carbon dioxide, which causes these greenhouse gas effect. They deplete the ozone layer and causes this climate change that we are all crying about. So there's a proper way of managing waste. And if we don't adhere to those things, then there will be a challenge. And the reason why we are seeing this challenge is that it is not as if Kumasi does not even have the solution. The whole of Africa, the largest compost and recycling plant in the whole of Africa sits in Kumasi, where we have other countries traveling their lengths and breadth to come to Kumasi to see the solution for themselves.
So why is the city filthy? Why do we see Bola all around?
All right. So two things. I mentioned that waste will be generated on a daily basis, whether we like it or not. But then there should be a system that is able to cater for the waste that has been generated. The systems are that there should be first and foremost bins or storage facilities. So in our households, we have these smaller bins, the 240-liter bins or the 120-liter bins to store to store the waste in a primary way, so that we will have an arrangement with these collectors, be they the formal companies or the informal companies, to collect it and transport it to designated treatment centers. So the collection is ongoing. That's why you see the Zoom Lions, the Asadus, the J. Stanley Owusus, the Aboboya people all collecting the waste. So it's being collected. But where do they send the collected waste? That is the problem.
Now, the destination for the waste, to what extent is that important?
You see, I would say that is the heart of waste management. Because if I've mentioned that waste will be generated anyway on a daily basis. So if the waste is generated and on a daily basis waste is being generated, if you don't have a proper destination for that waste, what the rippling effect will be that there will be uncollected waste in the system. Even if you have communal containers, even if you have dustbins, they will be spilling over because they've been generated, they've been kept in these storage facilities, but they are unable to be transferred to the designated site. And the rippling effect will be heaps of refuse around in our drains, causing flooding. People will even tend to burn them or bury them, which will bring environmental pollution. And that is not what we want as a people. In the Ashanti region, as I've mentioned, we are blessed to have the largest compost and recycling plant in the whole of Africa situated with us here in Kumasi. So if we have the solution to waste management crisis in the whole of Africa here in Kumasi, and Kumasi is still crying of a waste management crisis, then it beats.
If that is so, you have a very interesting relationship with government, and I'm referring to Zoom Lion, where the assemblies, looking at the district assembly common fund, a portion of it is deducted at the top, with the expectation is that Zoom Lion would deal with their sanitation issues in their various localities. I've had cause to engage some MCs who have said sometimes it's difficult for you guys to bring in your vehicles and collect the waste. And sometimes it takes a long time. And even when the vehicle comes, the capacity of the vehicle is not enough to contain the waste that will have been generated. So even you that claim that you have this sophisticated site, some say the point where the waste will need to be moved from wherever it is generated to your point where you will do whatever you will do with it. That system, even you seem to have challenges with that. What do you say to that?
Okay, thank you very much, Alpha. So, you see, when it comes to waste management, there's what we call waste financing. I've mentioned that waste is the property of government. If you go to countries that have excelled in waste management, and I will not take you far, we have the Rwandas, we have the Singapores and the likes. You always have to prioritize waste. If you don't prioritize waste management, it becomes a challenge. So in those countries, they've actually put waste management at a level of water and even electricity, such that they have infrastructure for managing waste. And they've also gotten some dedicated funding, sustainable funding for waste. The question you asked, when it comes to waste financing, okay, that's in Ghana, we are practicing the polluter pay principle, and then we have other budgetary allocations that are supposed to handle waste. We even are looking at an extended producer responsibility, where, for instance, packaging companies, the bottling companies like the Guinness, the Twilliams, and the others, because after consuming their product, the packaging more or less becomes a nuisance in the environment. They have to actually pay some funds so that those of us in the waste management space will use that to deal with it. That aspect is there. Then we have the polluter pay principle. That is what you and I are practicing at our various households. We are responsible for our storage, the primary storage. So we buy our own dustbins. After that, we engage some of the collection companies. So maybe Zoom Lion, maybe Asadu, maybe J. Stanley Owusu, maybe the Aboboya people. So that on a regular basis, they come and then collect the waste. So what we pay to them after they've collected our waste is for collection and transportation. That collection and transportation, as we speak now, there's district assemblies or the metropolitan municipal and district assemblies have a bylaw that they have to control the fee fixing. So they are the ones who actually determine and decide how much you are supposed to even charge for the waste collection. And you see, there's a transportation element in waste. When fuel prices increase, those of us in the waste management and environmental sanitation space, we don't say that, or they don't tell us that because we are in that space, we buy fuel or diesel at a reduced rate. We all buy it at the commercial rates that commercial transport owners are also buying. So if we do this, we buy spare parts at the same rate. But when we are going to charge commercial rates, we are told not to, because that fee fixing is done by people. So for instance, the example you cited, that the MMDAs are complaining that collection of the communal containers by some of the members in ESPA are not regular, because the amounts of monies that have been, as you mentioned, deducted from the District Assembly Common Fund to even cater for the collection
is inadequate.
Is inadequate.
But that conversation happened between you and central government. Oh,
so as we
so you reached that agreement between.
As we speak now, that agreement. But you have to, if there's a contract, if there's an agreement, there are reviews, because times are not the same.
Absolutely.
For instance, if you sign a contract 5 years ago or 10 years ago, the dynamics then will
not be the
same. 10 years now. I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
So you have to.
But did the agreement cater for specific amounts or percentages? So, for instance, let's say if the District Assembly Common Fund is, say, 100K, did the agreement take care of, say, okay, maybe 10%, or 20% of it will be dedicated to this, or they say a specific amount? Because then if it is in percentage terms, what it means is that the increment that will mean that your portion to...
So this is what is happening currently. The Common Fund, 80% now comes to the Assembly. And then 10% out of the 80% that comes is supposed to cater for sanitation. But what they are looking at in terms of that context is the waste collection and fumigation, I think. Yes. So, you see, when waste is collected, and I'm even telling you these amounts are woefully inadequate. Now, when waste is collected, we all lose sight of where the waste goes to.
Which is important.
Which is the most important thing.
It has to go somewhere.
For instance,
and something must happen
at that point.
Okay.
And the monies we pay at the primary point, for instance, what the assemblies pay to Zoomlion and other contractors to collect the waste, that money does not cater for what happens at the destination of the waste.
So perhaps that's the problem that the tradition or the sites belonging to the assemblies are having, because then whatever payment they will take might not take into account the processing cost.
So
let me
even come in here. When you look at a landfill, okay, a landfill is supposed to, you have your cells with your pipings underneath, with your geomembranes and geotextiles, with your Gibeon baskets, so that when the waste is put in there, you do compacting on a regular basis, you do covering, so that the waste does not get out of hand. What we are currently practicing is not, respectfully, is not the professional landfill management that is being done.
Just dump inside.
And I'm telling, that is what the place has been reduced to. And I've told you that place has outlived its usefulness and capacity. So the issue is that I think about 6 years ago, that site was supposed to have been shut down.
Yeah,
and it was even shut down. Why was it shut down?
But if it is shut down, there's no alternative for us, as they will say.
So I've mentioned that Kumasi has the largest compost and recycling plant in the whole of Africa.
Why are people not bringing their waste?
Okay, so the question should rather be, why are we now having this conversation? Why has waste management or the crisis of waste management become the topical issue in Kumasi lately? Why wasn't it there last year? Why wasn't it there about 5 years ago? Reason is that for the past 6 years, this largest compost and recycling plant that exists here in Kumasi has been serving the good people of the region. It receives and processes municipal solid waste, liquid waste, medical waste from the greater Kumasi catchment area, from about 14 or 15 MMDAs. And that has been the trend. So if KMA picks their waste from anywhere within the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, when they do the central business cleaning at night, they bring all of this waste to the Kumasi Compost and Recycling Plant Limited, KCAP as we call it.
Did it stop at the point?
Let me elaborate on this point. When people from maybe in Kawie, people from Kwada, so people from Bosomtwe, from Old Tafo, from Mampontin, from Asokwa, Swame, or name it, when they all pick their waste, the next go-to point is the Kumasi Compost and Recycling Plant Limited. And this entity has been providing this service in a circular economy way, so that they employ over 1,000 people directly, and then indirectly several thousands of people. They are creating jobs, reducing the unemployment rates within the region and even Ghana as a whole. They are contributing to industry, because waste management is not only collection and disposal. It is a resource strategy, and it is also critical to public health, environmental protection, and then economic growth. We are providing decent jobs for the people. Aside that, if you don't manage your waste properly, we have ISA, Institute for Social, Statistical, and Economic Research. They are at Legon. Recently, they did a research, and then they said that due to improper waste management, Ghana spends about 6.2 billion cedis on battling.
As for waste, we are very terrible at it.
No, you see, the issue is that we don't have to have this issue in this day and age, because the solution exists.
But we do have it. So you were giving me the point that this problem used not to exist.
Exactly.
And now it's coming.
And now,
so there might be something that is currently missing, something that we used to do that we've stopped. So what is that then? I'm interested in knowing.
Yeah, so I've mentioned that waste has to be financed. And then in Ghana, there's a way of financing waste. So we are doing the polluter pay principle. That's what you and I are doing.
Okay.
There's the extent EPR, the extended producer responsibility, that is not being properly managed. There are some budgetary allocations. You've mentioned allocations from common fund and all that, which I've mentioned that they are catering, as we speak now, for a 10%. Section. And that 10% is even meant for the collection.
Fumigation
and collection of the waste.
Okay.
But what happens to
at the landfill
or at the treatment site? And I've mentioned to you that now the world has even moved from linear way of managing waste, the linear economy, to a circular economy. So now, if we have a system, an ultra-modern facility that is the largest in the whole of Africa, that receives waste, recover useful products like organics from it and turns them into organic compost for farmers, use the metals for assisting the metal industry, use the plastics for assisting the plastic industry, papers, to a whole lot. And this facility exists, then Kumasi shouldn't have this problem.
So what it means is that at a point the company came to the realization that the monies we were paying, or the monies the assemblies were paying, were not realistic to this, to the extent that it may be able to take care of collection.
Okay,
or
Alpha, let me help you. So as I mentioned, the monies that District Assembly Common Fund has given to the MMDAs, it's not, that 10% is not for treatment of waste.
Okay.
So I mentioned that in the world over, those who have excelled in what we do.
What is the money used for?
That one is, the 10% at the MMDAs is for the collection of the waste, and at times for fumigation.
But that one, it was enough for that.
That is not for treatment.
No, I'm saying, but it was enough for collection.
The collection, even I've mentioned here, that even that one is woefully inadequate.
It's not. So it means, so, but collection will not happen in a vacuum. When you collect, you move it from point A to B.
Exactly. So you see, waste management is a chain. If you fail at one end, you fail throughout. If you just fail at one end, you fail throughout. So as I mentioned, waste will be generated anyway. When waste is generated at the generation points, let's say the market, there should be a storage facility. So that's why we have the communal containers.
Temporarily, yes.
If in our public house, in our private homes, we have the dustbins. Okay. In other even here, you have these 1,000 liter, 1,100 liter bins, the green ones with the wheels, the bigger ones. They are here, so that the waste can be kept in there. But when the waste is kept in there, it is not for, it's not forever. No, it's for only a temporary storage for collection to be done. When the collection is done, where do we send it to?
And what happens to it?
And what happens to it? And I've mentioned that we've moved from the linear economy way of collecting waste and disposing it at the disposal sites or just at the landfill sites without treating it, to a circular way of managing waste. That is where you collect the waste, you transport it and send it to treatment centers. And I've mentioned that Kumasi has the largest compost and recycling plant in the whole of Africa, here in Kumasi, which for the past 5 to 6
whole of Africa.
Exactly. Which for the past 5 to 6 years,
yes,
you will not understand this,
so
Alpha.
Why?
Which for the past 5 to 6 years, been assisting the good people of the region, receiving and processing this waste, turning this waste into fertilizer, organic fertilizer for farmers, turning the plastics into pellets to support plastic industry, turning the papers into raw material for the paper industry, metals into raw materials for the metal industry. All this are being done, employing thousands of people, and then doing a meaningful work, a key thing for that matter, for the Ashanti region and then Ghana as a whole. But what has happened?
Earlier on, you said, why were we not experiencing this 2 years ago?
Yes.
And why did this problem start last year? What did we stop doing? Okay. Is it that you've stopped receiving the waste? Or you've told the assemblies not to bring the waste?
Okay.
Or they themselves have decided not to bring it?
Okay.
What happened?
All right. So I've told you, Alpha, here that waste is the property of government.
Yes.
And government, according to the Ghana Environmental Sanitation Policy, government is the one that is supposed to manage it. Now, government, over the years, we've seen that they are unable to manage these things. That is why the private entities came in. ESPA, Environmental Service Providers Association. I've mentioned that we have those who are into collection, those who are into transportation of the waste, those who are into the treatment of the waste. Okay? But there are also agreements. Because waste belongs to government, government has to manage it. So if private entities come in, that is why government has to support those private entities. So I've mentioned when it comes to collection, MMDAs have agreements with collectors. They pay them to do the collection. Then government also has agreement with the treatment centers. So that government pays the treatment centers so that they can receive the waste. As we speak now, the largest compost and recycling plant in the whole of Africa, when all the Aboboyers and the rest bring waste, they don't pay. It's for free. Because if you look at the real amount of the real,
the private people don't pay money.
They don't pay when they come to the compost and recycling plant.
Are you sure?
Oh, you can ask them.
But why don't they pay?
So I've mentioned that if you
because it's government.
No, the monies we pay to them, ideally at the household level, those monies are to cater for collection and transportation. And in my earlier submission, I mentioned that even those monies are inadequate because it's the district assemblies that fix the fees. So whether it will be able to cater for your operational expenditure or not, you have to take it anyway. So when you bring it to the treatment centers, as we speak now, OT landfill, they pay monies there. But despite the monies they pay there, OT landfill is still facing challenges. So the question is, do you think it is this gate fees that can support for the system to exist? Certainly not.
So it's an issue of lack of resources.
Lack of resources. So government has to pay
for the treatment.
For the treatment. For the past years, I think there was this ESLA levy.
The Ebola tax.
You came up with the Ebola tax.
Oh, that one was helping.
It was helping. So I think when you buy fuel, 10 pesos was deducted into the fund.
A lot of Ghanaians did not understand.
Because of lack of education. So 10 pesos of that should actually go into that so that you ring fence that sustainable funding. You use monies from that fund to assist the treatment facilities so that the system will be seamless. But if there is delay and irregular payment to these facilities, you know, when it comes to waste management, for instance, at our place, the largest compost and recycling plant, you operate 24 hours. You operate from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. with about 200 staff. From 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., another 200 staff. From 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. with another 200 staff.
The 24-hour economy is happening.
It started long ago.
I see.
It started long ago because the issues of waste, you can't determine when somebody should generate and then collect and transport the waste. And even the best times for collection of waste is in the evening, where there's less traffic and all that.
Now, you've said that 10% of the Assembly's Common Fund is dedicated to taking care of sanitation, right? Or that's
not sanitation, not a holistic sanitation. I've mentioned that it caters for collection.
Okay, collection.
That is for the SIP, the Sanitation Improvement Package, which is where the companies put containers at communal container sites, and then when they are full, they collect it and then transport it to treatment centers.
So that's the
also some for maybe fumigation.
So you have agreement, or there's a contract between you and government for that?
There's a contract between government and then an ESPA, so Zoom Lion, for that.
So on behalf of the assemblies?
On behalf of the assemblies, yes.
So now, if that is the case, yes, you have acknowledged that that money, even for that collection, is not enough. But as we speak, that's the contract that exists. So you are bound.
Yes, so the collection is ongoing anyway.
So when you collect it, if the amount is not enough to take care of the treatment, as in at the point of the landfill side, when you collect it, where do you take it to?
Okay.
What happens?
So thank you very much. Alpha, there's a contract. There's a contract with the local government for and on behalf of the MMDs to also send their waste to the compost and recycling plant. And monies have to be paid to the compost and recycling plant for receiving and then processing the waste in an eco-friendly manner. You get my point? So there's another contract that says somewhere that
so there's a separate contract.
That is not that. So I've mentioned that the 10% does not cater for the treatment.
Okay.
It's for the collection. Okay. And there's another contract that should cater for
the treatment. Okay. So that is still in existence as we speak.
Okay. So that contract is in existence, but then how to fund that contract, I think, has become a challenge for
the assemblies.
It's not the assemblies that have to pay directly. I've mentioned that there was an account that was escrowed for the fuel levy to be kept in the ESLA, so that that money becomes a sustainable fund. Because whether you like it or not, you and I are polluters. Whether we are using our own private vehicles or boarding commercial vehicles, we are polluting anyway. So if we are buying fuel directly or indirectly, it means that if we buy fuel, there's an amount that is deducted into that fund.
Yeah.
If we board a public transport and then we pay the fares, there's an amount that is deducted into the fund so that our waste management issues will be sorted out. But then as we speak now, those monies for the past 4 years have not been paid to the compost and recycling plant. You get my point? And this plant, although the monies have not been paid to them in the ex-Wal government and in the current government for 4 years, the plant has not stopped operating for the 4 years without money. We have existed. We have been able to provide the services that is expected of us, although monies have not been in for 4 years, by us assessing loans from the banks. But as we speak now, because we've taken the loans for 4 years and we've not been able to repay, the banks are unable to continuously and freely give us the loans to help us with our operations. That is why now the company has been plunged into huge financial distress.
Is the company still operating?
Yes, we are operating.
So you're collecting waste?
Okay, so let me explain. There are a lot of facilities at the place. I've mentioned that we have the wastewater treatment plant, we have the medical waste treatment plant, and the solid waste that collects what we call boiler. Even at that, we have the plastic recycling unit, the metal recycling unit, and the likes. As we speak now, currently, we receive bits and pieces of waste from institutions like the KNUSTs and the likes.
Okay.
And then we also do the plastic recycling that is actively going on a daily basis. But then the plant has a capacity of about over 3,000 metric tons a day. Okay, if it's receiving waste. We have 2 stationary plants with capacity 2,400 metric tons a day. And then we have mobile plants with a combined capacity of 1,200, making the capacity over 3,000 metric tons on a daily basis. So if the plant is fully active, this waste management situation in
So it's not currently fully active?
It's not currently fully active because, as we speak now, if you are running the plant, it's hugely capital intensive. I've mentioned that we do 24 hours.
So then it means you're not collecting waste?
We are not receiving the waste. We are not collecting.
But you're supposed to collect?
No.
Isn't that part of
Alpha, you are getting... So I've mentioned that in the ESPA setup, the Environmental Service Providers Association, we have companies that are into collection.
Okay, so you particularly are not...
The treatment centers are not collection companies.
Okay.
They are for treatment. So collectors like the Zoom Lions, the Asadus, the J. Stanley Owusus, the Aboboya people and the likes collect and bring it to the facility for an eco-friendly manner treatment system to happen.
But I'm saying that those that are bound to collect and bring it to you,
are they collecting?
Are they collecting it?
So they are. As we sat here, you saw the Aboboya people collecting.
Yeah, I saw.
You see Zoom Lion collecting. You see Asadu collecting. So are they collecting? Yes, they are collecting. But why do we still have waste in the system? Because the end game, there's a break in the chain. And if there's a break in the chain, it affects. The rippling effect will be that you see containers full. If they pick the waste and they don't have anywhere to send it to, or if they pick the waste and they take about a day or 2 days before they can.
But these days, you don't see the Aboboyas regularly.
It's not as if you don't see them. They are working. If you go to where they are currently sending the waste, they have queued there. And then
so
they
will
waste
take a long
time.
Before they...
For instance, if an Aboboya does between 2 or 3 trips a day, and in 2 days they can only do 1, what do you think
that
will happen?
affects the... So what's the solution?
If Zoom Lion has to do, maybe with a compactor trucks, go around every community once, and they go anyway, they pick the waste anyway, and then they go and then they spend a day or 2 before they can empty that truck or vehicle. What will happen to the other areas? So it will often look as if they are doing their best, but then the best is not enough.
What's the solution?
The solution is simple. We have Kumasi as the largest compost and recycling plant in the whole of Africa here. Because of this, presidents and high-powered delegations from other African countries have been here
to learn,
and then as we speak now, we are building some of these facilities in 29 of the 54 African countries. They have seen this solution as an African solution for Africans, and then that is what they've all embraced, and we are doing it there for them as we speak now. We are in Lagos, we are in Nairobi, we are in Mombasa, Cameroon, Ethiopia, everywhere. We are doing this. So if we have the solution with us in Kumasi, why shouldn't the solution help us? The main issue is that government should pay the monies that is due the company. As we speak now, because of the financial distress nature the company is in, ECG has disconnected power, has disconnected the company from the national grid, and we use power to run this plant. So even if you receive a lot of waste, how would you process it? You have a standby generator, all right, but can you use diesel to run this, where you don't even have money to buy the diesel that you need to power the plant for 24 hours on a daily basis. As we speak now, we have suppliers that give us some parts for spare parts for our car, our machinery and all that. All of those people are not supplying anymore because we owe them. We have suppliers who have sent us to seek legal action, legal redress. We have people who come there and even will want to, they come in with schnapps and eggs to curse you and all that because we owe them. As we speak now, the employment issue on the side, we have to ask a lot of the people, of the staff, to go home. That is what is happening. So Alpha, it's not as if the plant is not ready to receive and process waste. That is what the plant was built for. And as I mentioned, the whole of Africa, that is the largest.
So for you think the scrapping of the sanitation levy was not a good idea?
Why should it be a good idea? You see, I've mentioned that we don't prioritize waste management. If we are a country that prioritizes waste management, we should have a levy that caters for it, because waste sits with us. Waste generation is proportional to population growth. As we live, as we continue to procreate and all that, people will exist, waste will exist. The solution is, so you don't do away with waste, you find solutions to it. And there should be structures that caters for this. That is why we have the collection, we have the storage facilities, we have the collection systems, and we should have treatment centers. So if the treatment center breaks down, if that is the go-to place, if it breaks down, the rippling effect is what we'll see. Uncollected waste, a lot of things. And it's not, if you see waste, it is not just waste as that. If you don't treat it properly, it becomes a nuisance, brings about health issues and all that. And that is where we find ourselves.
So we are in a crisis already. Or
what do you see? What is the crisis? Where you are unable to find lasting solutions to yourself, and you don't know where to go. But in our case, I've told you the solution sits with us here in Kumasi.
We just need to
realign. So government has to do their end of the bargain by paying the facilities so that they can continuously deliver their services to the good people of Kumasi and the region as a whole.
Because you've said you are building these plants in other African countries. Sure. And I want to believe some of those plants are fully operational.
So in Lagos, that in Lagos would start operations at the end of the year.
Okay, so none is operational outside Ghana.
We've not started yet. Yeah. So we
are
in the construction phase.
Their experience to see.
So
how
this is what is happening. They are rather learning from us, and then in their case, the sustainable funding that I've mentioned, they've started already.
So that there will be continuous.
Exactly. So that there will be money in the pool to cater for the service, because waste management sits with us. Why do we get sustainable funding for electricity? Why do we do so for water? And then we fail to do that for sanitation. Sanitation
I think it's
sits
because
with us.
For us,
we don't prioritize. No, because we don't prioritize waste management. That is why we are where we are now.
We can see some of them passing.
Exactly. So they are collecting it. This is a Zoom Lion truck that is going with a Clean Ghana container on it. The collection is ongoing, but the collection will not be efficient enough if, when they collect it, they are unable to find a proper place to send it to. And this proper place, Alpha, as we speak now, is the Kumasi Compost and Recycling Plant Limited, which has state-of-the-art facilities to receive and process the waste. I think you've seen some of the videos. I thought you would even be playing it.
No, you're supposed to take me there. I have to go and see it myself.
I get you.
But I've seen.
If you are ready, we can even go now after the interview. So the issue is that you see, what beats my mind is, Alpha, we have the solution with us here in Kumasi.
But we are not making use of it.
And we are not making use of it. And this solution is not as if we are now going to try and test it.
And even though this solution is built by a private company, its purpose is for the collective.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's for all of us.
Because
we have interest in it.
No, you see, it was built for our interest. You see, if you travel the world, people who are serious about waste management have these systems, okay? And these systems are the go-to. I've told you that is the circular way of managing waste. Now, because we've seen waste as a public health issue, if you don't have these facilities and then you do the crew dumping or the improper landfilling, it becomes a challenge. It becomes a challenge and a nuisance to the environment. Okay. The odors that emanate from landfills are not just odors. These are gases, some of which are carcinogenic, causes cancer and other issues. So if you don't treat the waste properly, it becomes a challenge. So if waste can be seen as a resource strategy, why don't we use it as such, so that the resources, the components or the composition of the waste can be put to a proper use? I've mentioned that in agric, you can use all of these organics. At the facility K-Cap, we produce between 3,000 and 5,000 bags of the 50 kilos organic compost on a daily basis to support farmers. When it comes to plastics, there are a lot of plastics that are in the system. Research says that by 2050, about the quantity of aquatic
plastics
life, the plastics will be like 3 times that in the water bodies. But over there, we use the plastics, be it the PET, the HDP, the PP, LDPs, and the likes. We use them, we pelletize them, and then we use them as the raw materials for building other plastic products, so that we recycle, we reuse. A circular economy model.
Let me read few of the messages and then we are done. This one says, Alpha, good morning to you. There's no doubt that the gentleman in your studio knows his stuff. The only problem is, in this country, Bola is what it is. It is Bola. Bienvenue. Yeah, maybe that's the mindset about waste.
That is why. So yes, we see. Our attitude towards waste is what has brought us to where we are now. We don't prioritize it. We don't prioritize until, for instance, even if you want a place of convenience, until you are hardly pressed, you don't even ask
of the toilet facility.
Exactly.
And in fact, there are houses without toilet facility.
Yes, because they don't think about it.
Yeah, and even these days, you expect that modern houses will be built with where to keep Bola in mind, but usually it's not something that people think about. So they build their houses, you just have to deal with
everything is about our policies.
Yeah.
Why don't we put these policies in place and make sure they are being monitored and that they are being implemented as well? Why?
We'll have to leave it here. I'm sure this will not be the last time, because I think we need to, all of us, we are interested in finding solutions to the sanitation crisis.
And the funny thing is that even the Oti landfill, the K-Cap has built a connecting route, about 6-kilometer road from the Oti landfill to K-Cap, so that you can easily bring your waste, day, rain or shine.
Wow.
And now, because of these financial issues, because of non-payment from government, the place is now not fully functional. And that is what has plunged Kumasi into this crisis.
I'm sure government will do the needful.
We are engaging.
We are
engaging.
I'm very sure.
But you see, that is why you also have to add your voices to
the media. Now you've told it. I didn't know.
Okay.
Now you've told us. So now when we are analyzing it, we'll have to analyze it within this context.
You see, there should be a holistic analysis.
Yeah.
Do we have the systems to cater for waste management or waste in Kumasi?
Yes,
we do.
But it's the operational aspect of it. And what will make it continuously operational is funds.
Exactly.
Okay.
You get my point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Engineer Eugene Amo.
Asamoah. Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thank you, Alfa.
He is the business manager.
Business development manager for
the
largest compost and recycling plant in Africa.
And he calls it K-Cap.
And also the regional president for ESPA.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Hopefully we'll meet you again. Thank you very much for coming to share this information with us.
Thank you.
We were not very much in tune with that.
Okay. Right.
Now that has been laid bare, so hopefully it helps the conversation going forward.
Right.
And we'll do our best to ensure that the needful is done. Please, Kumasi Bolano is becoming serious. We need to find solutions to
Alpha,
it.
It shouldn't become serious. We are not going to find solution.
No, there's a solution. Let's activate this. So let's make it work out.
Exactly.
Okay. I think
the solution exists. This solution has been tried and tested for the past 6 years. That has been what has been holding the fort for waste management in the region.
Okay.
So if there's a breakdown in the system, all that we have to relook at is why is the facility not fully functional? And it's because government has failed to honor their end of the bargain for about 4 years now. The company has not shut down for 4 years. It has been running over the years for the past 6 years. This year, for about 2-3 months coming, because of the huge financially distressed nature of the company, is unable to run. ECG has disconnected the company from the national grid. Suppliers are not giving them the needed parts to fix or maintain their parts. it's gotten to a point that even SNIT and GRA are threatening to handle them in a way that is not good. But the solution is for all Ghanaians. It's for the good people of the region. It's for the good people of the Greater Kumasi. So let's make it workable.
I'm sure
by pleading with government, pressing upon them to make payments to them. We are not even asking them to pay everything.
At least make some
make some commitment so that the company can settle their debt to their suppliers and then be able to run the facility.
We'll do a lot more advocacy on that. Thank you very much for coming. It's great to have you. We'll leave it here. My name has been Alfa. I was there with Janice and Mark. Have a very good morning.
Thank you.
Mike, call.